Welcome everyone. Today, we are embarking on module 1 of our software design and development course. This module is the foundation for our entire journey, where we move from beginner concepts to advanced professional practices. Today's focus is simple but critical: understanding the disciplines that power modern digital innovation. Let's get started. In today's module, we are going to cover 7 core areas: the distinction between design and development, the software development life cycle, SDLC, the history and evolution of our field, various development methodologies, programming paradigms and architecture patterns, essential tools for your development toolkit, and finally, the professional do's and don'ts that set apart senior software engineers. Let's start with the big picture. Software design and development is the disciplined process of taking abstract ideas like a need for a diagnostic tool or a financial system and transforming them into robust, user-centered digital solutions. The mindset we are adopting today is design first, code second. You cannot build something great without first having a thoughtful architecture. This is your first step toward a high-impact career. So, what is design? Think of it as the architectural blueprint. It is the critical planning phase where we create technical specifications. We aren't writing production code yet, we are defining our system architecture, choosing our data structures, and drafting API contracts. The goal here is to guide future implementation while ensuring security, maintainability, and most importantly, meeting the user's needs. Development, on the other hand, is the implementation phase where those blueprints become reality. We use our chosen programming languages, frameworks, and tools to write executable code. A major difference here compared to traditional construction is that software embraces change. We don't just build once, we build, test, and iterate. Modern development relies on collaboration, automation, and continuous quality checks. To manage this, we used software development cycle, SDLC, as it provides a structured framework to ensure we deliver quality predictably. The cycle runs from requirements, where we gather user stories, through design, implementation, testing, and deployment to maintenance. Mastering this cycle is essential because it allows you to control costs and manage the inevitable complexity of large systems. The history and evolution of software engineering. We didn't arrive here overnight. The history of software is a history of learning from failure. From the pioneering era of the 50s with its ad hoc machine code through the software crisis of the 70s, which taught us we need formal processes to the structured and object-oriented areas. Today, in modern era, we combine these lessons with cloud, DevOps, and AI-assisted tools. How do we choose a methodology? It depends on your project uncertainty. We have waterfall for stable, linear project. We have agile when requirements are evolving. We have Scrum for teams that need structure with agility. and DevOps for teams focused on speed and reliable delivery. There is no best way, only the right way for your specific business context. When you sit down to write code, which paradigm do you use? You either use procedural, which is step-by-step instructions, object-oriented, which is modeling the world as object with data and behavior, functional, which focus on few functions and immutability, or event-driven, responding to user actions. Modern practice often means combine this using object-oriented programming for structure, functional for data processing, and event-driven for your user interface. To keep your code maintainable and reduce technical debt, follow those principles. SRP, which implies one class, one responsibility. OCP, which is often for extension and clause for modification. Dry, which means don't repeat yourself. KISS, keep it simple, don't over-engineer. Or finally, YAGMI, which means you ain't gonna need it. Don't build features until they are actually required. Beyond individual principles, we look at system-wide patterns. We use MVC, which is Model View Controller, to separate our data, logic, and UI. We also use layered architecture for enterprise apps that need clear boundaries. And for large-scale cloud-native systems, we use microservices, where loosely coupled services implement specific capabilities. Essential development tools. What is in your toolkit? You need a solid IDE like VS Code or IntelliJ, a version control system like Git, and tools for design, testing, and deployment. The pro tip here is to master one tool in each category deeply before adding more. Depth enables productivity. Let's look at practical setup from zero to hero. How do we actually start? It is a 5-step process. First, you set up your environment and editor, and you install your necessary runtimes like Python and Node. You initialize Git for version control. Then you create your project structure. Finally, run your test scripts, test it, and commit it. Always get to hello world as fast as possible to verify your environment. Let's look at do's and don'ts as a professional practices. For the do's, always write clean, readable code with meaningful names. Follow coding standard, use linters and formatters. Test frequently, i.e. unit testing, TDD, or automated CI/CD. Always use version control with descriptive commit messages. Document thoroughly. Read Miss API docs architectural decisions. For the don'ts, do not hardcore passwords, API keys, or environment values. Do not skip testing or rely solely on manual QA. And do not duplicate. Always extract reusable functions and modules. Do not ignore documentations or assume it is obvious. And always use clear abbreviations or single letter variable names. In conclusion, this module has set the stage for modules 2 through 10. We have covered the mindset, the process, and the tools. Software design and implementation is your gateway to the digital economy. It is a powerful, structured, and high-demand discipline. You are now prepared to start hands-on technical journey. Let's get to the work in the next movie. Thank you.